Go.
Tension today. The UK and US show military strength in Philippine Sea towards China. A show of military might, the United Kingdom and the United States conducted joint drills in the Philippine Sea amid tensions in the Indo-Pacific region. According to the UK Royal Navy on Thursday, its UK carrier strike group's warships, led by the 65,000-ton aircraft carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth, was joined by the USS America-led United States Expeditionary Strike Group 7. 3 squadrons of F-35B jets were flown together by both countries over the Philippine Sea, which is part of the Western Pacific Ocean. The joint air drills were conducted for 48 continuous hours, the Royal Navy said. According to USS America's commanding officer Captain Ken Ward, the drills showed how both countries can carry out highly intricate and sustained flight operations to devastating lethal effect. The Royal Navy said they were also joined by 2 ships from Japan's Maritime Self-Defense Force for maritime exercises. Conducting exercises with ships of the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force and the U.S. Expeditionary Strike Group 7 is another milestone for HMS Queen Elizabeth, said Captain Angus Essenheim, commanding officer of the UK's most powerful naval ship. The UK have shown our ability to work with allies, and as the UK get accustomed to operating in the Indo-Pacific again, these relationships will be important for all future Royal Navy ships operating in the region. The 3 countries' demonstration of naval might in the Philippine Sea lasted 12 days, the Royal Navy said. By conducting this joint exercise, we have demonstrated the UK's commitment to the Indo-Pacific, an area critical to global peace and prosperity, and the Royal Navy's flexibility and ability to work with the UK's allies and partners in the region, it said. The joint military drills by the 3 countries came amid regional disputes between China and its regional neighbors, including the Philippines, over claims in the South China Sea. Beijing has been ramping up militarization and island-building activities in the resource-rich South China Sea, ignoring a 2016 arbitral ruling that invalidated its expansive 9-line claim. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson earlier said the Royal Navy's recent and largest voyage in the Indo-Pacific in years will help project British soft power, such as a belief in democracy and the rule of law. Both the US and Japan have also voiced their protests against China's aggression in the disputed South China Sea. Meanwhile, littoral combat ships, or LCS, are either a naval threat capable of blowing up every Chinese operation in the South China Sea or a floating symbol of all the U.S. Navy's most pernicious problems. And while U.S. naval leaders tout the LCS' speed and agility in shallower coastal areas, critics point to its limited armaments and history of mechanical breakdowns. The LCS presence in the Indo-Pacific has a long history, including now, of helping to guarantee peace and security, freedom of trade and commerce, freedom of navigation and open waterways, and the rules-based international order that has brought so much safety and prosperity to so many. U.S. Navy leaders say the LCS, which is comparable in size to the more standard Corvette class of ships, has an integral role in making that happen. And they expect the LCS to play an even bigger part as the US faces a more robust Chinese presence in the South China Sea, emphasized by its growing fleet and fortified military installations built by Beijing on man-made islands. Beijing continues to coerce, to intimidate, and to make claims to the vast majority of the South China Sea. China claims almost all of the 1.3 million square mile South China Sea as its sovereign territory and says the presence of U.S. warships there are the cause of tensions and instability. That has not stopped the U.S. Navy from asserting itself in the waterway, where it regularly sends its ships for exercises and so-called freedom of navigation operations, which challenge Beijing's claims to disputed islands. Vice Admiral Bill Merz, who commanded the U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet until June, told an online defense conference earlier this year the Navy has plans to deploy up to 8 LCS in the Western Pacific by the end of 2022, including having 4 operating out of a base in Singapore where 2 are based now by the end of this year. Merz's comments, first reported by U.S. Naval Institute News, came after 1 LCS, the USS Gabrielle Giffords, pretty much owned the southern South China Sea during operations last year, he said. To make the LCS more formidable, the Navy has upgraded the Pacific-based ships' firepower, arming them with up to 8 naval strike missiles, sea-skimming cruise missiles that are difficult to spot on radar, and can maneuver to avoid enemy defenses.